Hello and welcome to Late Night Creatures, the late night show where I draw creatures and that's the show. Welcome to the show. So, I had a fun idea. And when I say fun, I mean silly and pretty stupid. Not stupid, artistic. Um, and so I said the word armpit out loud, said the word armpit. And it made me think, well, what if there was an armpit? And so that's what we're doing today. We're drawing a wonderful armpit. Now, I think you're asking, well, Peter, how is that a creature? It's an armpit, not a creature. Well, let me just show you. So, here's the thing with a pit. Is that a pit can be full of anything. Whatever you want, which means that it can be full of creatures. And that's what I'm going for today, cuz of course I am. That's the whole point of this show, is to draw creatures. So, that's not what I want from that line. So, if we just go real quick, give me a minute to get this pit, and then we can start drawing creatures. Yes, wonderful. There's our pit, right there. It's nice, it's beautiful. It's everything I could ever hope for. So, let's go in, and I'm going to do some quick work here to just get our scene nice and set up. I'm going to sort of get a background in place here that will give us a good place to jump off of when the pit drawing really begins. Because I want to do less work than I have to when I'm drawing this armpit, and so I'm going to do that. Because a fun thing I can do here is select the top half of the screen, cut it, then repaste it on top, pop a layer in between those two layers, so now I can just, well, that's a bad example. Let me get a red line to show you guys what I'm talking about. Now I can just drop stuff into the pit. See how that works? It's a fun little trick, so we can just throw stuff and it'll go down into the pit. And we don't have to do any of that extra labor. Let me go in and clean up where we did that real quick. And then we can finally start drawing arms. Because that's sort of been the point. That is the point. We gotta draw arms to go in this pit. But you can't start off drawing an armpit if you don't have the pit. So now that we're there, let's get to work. Now, you guys know me. I love creatures. It's kind of a big deal. So I'm going to start off with just a nice, simple... By the way, this is going to be a crazy episode, because this is going to be like a lot of hands. I don't draw hands often. Not as often as I probably should. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. I've encountered a slight issue, but it's okay. I can fix it. So we're also going to have to put a layer up top for when we want to have stuff coming from out of the pit and touching the ground here. See, that was where I made the mistake, is I forgot about stuff that would do that. So my trick is not as good of a trick as I let on. That's my mistake. I kind of misled you. Won't happen again, probably. No promises. It might happen again. It probably will. Ugh. But I'm not going to say it won't. I'm also not going to say that it will. I'm going to say stuff happens. And that's what makes us human. There we go. This is a good start. It's your pretty classic arm right there. No Nothing special. So now I want to go and put in something special, a more interesting arm here. So let's go here, get this sort of beefy. I'm going for sort of maybe a bug look here. There we go. And so that'll allow us to really start getting into the creaturey side of this armpit. This entire episode's based on a pun. I have no idea how far this will carry, or what exactly is going to come out of this. I just have some vague ideas of what I think's going to happen, which, you know, what's new. It's kind of my whole MO, vague ideas of what's going to happen. I could write a book, and that could be the title. I'm not going to write a book, though. I don't have the experience to write a book. And anyone who tells you you don't need experience to write a book is right. But you need experience to write a good book, for the most part. Some people nail it their first try. I do not think I would be one of those cases. Could be wrong, but never know unless you try. I just walked back look, just forget whatever message I was trying to push. Forget it. It was not not the correct message to try and push there. Okay. So yeah, there's going to be a good amount of sort of drawing and erasing. But now that we're here, let me get these fingers going. I don't know why I drew that like that. Let's get these fingers going. So we'll have sort of a thumb. That'll be right here. And then we can have, coming off of there, have this sort of palm type structure, you know? And then we can bring in fingers, as you do in the world. Do a nice 4 fingers, as a lot of things have. I don't know, hold on, let me think. Do more things with fingers have 5 or 4? Counting the thumb. Oops. Oh, that's a problem. That's also a problem. I did. Yep. Dang it. See, here's a relatable artist thing. When you draw on the wrong layer, which I just did. And with that mistake, I'm going to actually make this arm into a tentacle. I wasn't liking how that other thing I was doing was looking, honestly. Some people might see this as a cop-out, but I see it as an idea of necessity. Which way do I want this to be facing? I think this way. Yeah. Nice. That's fleshy. Don't ever let me say that on air again, the word fleshy. Actually, never mind. Let me say it a lot. So we have this nice little tentacle insect man right here. There he is. So there's 2 arms. Maybe we should go back to this layer over here. Or no. Let's go stay where we were. And go and put in just a nice kind of loosey-goosey creature-esque shape. Can come down into there. There we go. Awesome. So let me figure out what I want to do with this before I erase the rest of that color. Maybe we should do a, ooh, I have an idea. This is kind of another tentacle. This is a tentacle that doesn't end in a tentacle, instead of a normal arm, well, normal-ish, that does end in a tentacle. Instead, for this one, let's do a nice little claw. This is how I'm drawing this claw. This isn't a traditional claw by any means. It's a Peter DeToro claw. They're rare, exotic, and that's about it. They're also very good for grabbing and nothing else. Can't eat with it unless your food is a grabby food. Definitely can't use a fork unless... Wait, grabbing is all that you use hands for. This is a great claw. It's the best claw. No claw stands a chance compared to it. There we go. This is an armpit now. Okay. So now I need to, let's throw another one up front here. Sort of rebalance this. So you have that guy there. Maybe we should do a, gosh, I keep wanting to draw noodles, but I need to get it more creative than noodles. Let's do a nice beefy arm. That's normal beefy, not insect beefy. Just a big Brock Monston arm. Who's Brock Monston, you ask? I'm not sure. It's a name I made up. Much like everything on this show. It's completely fake and made up. But that's just the way the Brock Monstons. Is that was the name I said? I forget. Anywho, so we have this nice, that is all bicep and nothing else. But I'm alright with that, honestly. And then we gotta get a strong hand. How do you draw a strong hand, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. Flat fingers. If your fingers are flat, that means you're a very strong man. See, I'll show you. Or whatever this creature is. It means you're a strong creature. So if you flatten out those fingers, that shows a level of strength. Level of unparalleled, unbridled strength, I think. That's at least, whenever I draw muscly dudes, I always give them flatter fingers as opposed to round ones. I'm going to have him sticking his little pinky out. Like that. You know, like strong people do. That's not a pinky, that's a ring finger. And also, I don't know why I drew that, like, end showing. That's not how that works. There he is. Oh, yes. Let me get some veins on that. That was not how I draw a vein. That was an incorrect vein. Done by me personally. You're welcome. That's how you draw a wrong vein. Now this is a right vein right here. There it is. That's the nice veins. I think he's all bicep. Even his elbow is a little spindly in comparison there. He's great. I wonder, you see, here's the fun game. Is that now that we have this armpit drawn, and so now we get to guess what the creatures underneath look like. It's a fun challenge. Leave what you think the creatures underneath each arm look like. Leave that in the comments. What do you think's attached? The options are limitless. It can be anything. You know, I have a weird wired brain. There could be all manner of strangeness down there. Okay, so we have these forearms. That's a good start to an armpit. But I feel like maybe we just need to have some nice little... I think maybe we need a bigger arm. You know? Kind of a foreshadowed... Not foreshadowed, but a foreboding, just big boy arm to sort of just eat up some space. Because we don't have the time to draw enough actual arms to really fill up the space here. So here's what I suggest. Here's my cool suggestion. Is I do this that you're seeing right now. Then I go in and I make sure that that's all cleared. Excellent. Very nice. So I have that now. And so now the next step is I go and he's just gonna be giving a nice crisp gesture. Right, that was a bad start to what I was drawing. There we go. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Nice. Excellent. Cool. So we have that there. And then we just bring this 2, 3, 4, you know, as fingers do. That's too short. That's the problem. I knew there was an issue. I wasn't sure what it was. That's better. I was like, something's wrong with this hand. I couldn't tell quite what until I had the fingers drawn, and it was most certainly that. Bam. Gosh. Yeah, and he's gonna just... Let me just take that straight down, actually. That seems wrong. Many things here seem wrong, but there's something weird about this hand proportion. I don't know if it's because okay, so this is sticking up. Yeah, it's whatever. It's fine. That's the wrong perspective. I mean, if it's like this. Oh. Oh. That would be the problem. Okay. Give me a sec, guys. I figured out our issue. So, here's our issue. I'm going to take this right here. Take this hand. This nicely proportioned hand that I drew. I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to scoot it over. Okay? And then, I'm going to kind of give this some meat here. Very nice. I'm praising myself because I figured out one of the issues. And then bring this down. That's kind of better. Maybe if I bring it... Oh, okay. That works, I think. Personally, I think that works. That works out great. I'm going to kind of add in these, those hand tendon things in there. Bring out the knuckles a bit. This is a very fast and crude attempt at a semi-detailed hand that I'm going to leave. That's fine. That's a serviceable hand for our purposes. There he is. So there we have Big Hand. That's his name. That's this hand's name and what's attached to him. It's named Big Hand, the hand and the creature. The hand has a mind of its own. Some say that it's part of the creature, but the hand disagrees. And it thinks that you should give it some respect. And if you don't, well, I guess there's no good expressions for what I'm trying to say that have hand in it. So I'm just going to leave that sort of as it was. I'm going to just draw a very crude and awful fingerprint on this thumb here to make it just the tiniest bit too detailed. How to thumb? It's fine. I'm not going to focus too much more on that hand. That's just a nice chubby hand. I'm going to give it sort of this oh, that's the wrong color. I'm going to just give it sort of this this muscle here. And there we go. So now we have this coming out of the armpit. Okay. Okay. Interesting. This is a good armpit. You know? 5 is a pretty good number. I think maybe we can shoot for a couple more. So, we should definitely go to this layer for that. And then we come around. So let's just go straight up and do a nice robot arm here. So I'm going to go, then circle that there. Whoops. Let's see how that looks. Okay, acceptable. And then do that. Oh, that. Then go in and do that. See, this whole layer thing, it was working. It was working real well for a bit. And then it decided to kind of stop when I put this, in theory, I think it was a good idea, but in practice, it's not really making too much of a difference. And then from here, I can swing that I can't do that. That's the wrong layer. I can swing that around. It's also making things complicated. And now I can add in this sort of... I already have a claw, but I don't have this type of claw. But just your nice, standard kind of... There it is. Standard type of claw. Excellent. That's nice and robust robot, as they say, as the kids say. Alright, I'm a kid. Anywho. I'm the as the kids say. Oh. Okay. I see what's going on. This whole layer system, I thought it was such a good idea. I thought it was a real good idea. I really did. But throwing it into practice here, It's making things just a touch more time consuming because I'm having to remember where everything goes. But there, robot arm. Oh wait, not quite done. Go. And I'm also using colors. Okay. So yeah, I'm segmenting that there. So it looks more robotic-ish. Should have done this. Or no, I won't do it for that one, that arm. Because that makes more sense for it not to be segmented for that arm. It also makes it to where I don't have to deal with more erasing and unerasing. So there we go. So there we have the robot arm coming out there. So now I think we need an arm on this side, and we can start doing some weird fun stuff. So arm on this side. What should I do? Maybe, so we have this tentacle that ends in a claw. I want to do another noodly thing, because I've done a rigid and a realistic, and yeah, I want to do another noodly one, but I don't know how to make a noodly one interesting. So I just don't know. Let's just draw a noodle. And oh. Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea, which is a bad thing for you. Because it means that we're getting to a fun time, a fun point in our adventure. It means I'm probably about to draw something that might upset certain members of the viewing audience. Not all of you, but some of you. I've done it before, and I'll do it till the day I die. Let's keep drawing. So here's this. So now I'm gonna just draw a hand. It's gonna be a good hand. He'll be very nice. He'll have a great personality. And this is a hand. Before you jump to any conclusions, it is a hand. That's important to note. In fact, it's more than a hand. It's multiple hands. It's several hands, actually. So, just, yay! Yay! It's everyone's favorite. Oh, wow. I can't believe we got him. It's the eye hand. He's cool. He's everyone's friend. Yeah. He's also given a thumbs up. Yay. I like him. He's a good man. What should this one be doing? Should I do something crude? Maybe. But before I do that, I just gotta real quick. Okay. So I have one more. Let's do one more hand here coming off of eye hand. He's a good boy. He's very close and he's near and dear to me. Let's see. I could do something crude. Well, you know what? Let's keep it friendly today. We're drawing an armpit. So I don't know. Let's see if I can draw a fist that's just silhouetted effectively. Let me give myself that fun challenge of just doing a fist but without any lines for detailing. Really. There we go. There we go. There he is. It's eye hand. Oh, I got to erase. Should have waited on this. I really should have. But it's alright. Could be worse. Could be worse. Eye hand could be real. Oops. If eye hand was real, would you shake his hands? Okay, because here's the thing. It's like this is the arm. So there's another thing attached to this that may or may not have eyes. Let me make eye hand a little more, let me mix eye hand up a bit here. Oh. Let's just make him a bit. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm just gonna, give eye hand a bit of Bit of intrigue here. Make him an interesting looking person. You know what? Go here, and then where is that? I'm looking for sliders. There it is. Wonderful. There he is, Eye Hand. Eye Hand the Great, the magnificent Eye Hand is what we really should call him. But no one will give him that title. They're worried it will enrage him, and it might. I mean, do you see him? I'd be pretty mad too if this was my arm. You know, I think it's got the bloodshot eyes, probably because on account of the having to grab things. Because those eyelashes are more like fingers, and while they have their own articulation, I think every now and then he does just sort of grab, and so this eye I think gets crushed a good amount. So let's actually make this kind of look more like a black eye here. I'll give it just a little too much wrinkle to it, which a little too much wrinkle is kind of what I do anyways, but let's do a little too much, like even for me. Like wrinkles where they're definitely unnatural and unnecessary. I'm just gonna fill every crack here with a wrinkle. There we go. See, isn't that interesting? Fun things are happening. This poor eye. I feel bad for it. I think it's just trying to live its life, honestly. And we're doing this with it. Oh gosh, I kind of feel bad. It's a bad time. It's a bad life this eye is living. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely gross. That's really gross when you get in there. Anywho. Wow, look at that. It's an armpit. I need to finish him up. So let's actually, I'm going to add another segment to him real quick. It's kind of just this nice, bulky, bulbous type of thing. There we go. Okay. Now we gotta do something. I'm not quite sure what I was going to say. I was going to say something. I guess it's best if we just don't know. Wow. I'm filling... Oh, there. I forgot him. That's what I needed to do, maybe. Maybe I was like, there's something else. It was to finish him. Finish the tentacle creature. There we go. Alright. So now there we go. We have our armpit. Voila. So now Well, welcome. I'm glad you made it. I don't know how long ago you... Yeah, okay. I'm glad you made it. We're coming down to the end here. We're getting down to shading. And you know what? Armpit. Different arms. Let's do some different colors. I'm going to give each arm its own distinct color. So let's start off with a tannish color for our big man up here. There he is. See, the thing with this one is, well, he's definitely not my best hand. I was about to say something really, really dumb. That would have, it would have been a bad time for me. It would have been an embarrassing thing. It's definitely not my best hand drawing. But I think it could be worse. And you know what? I think that can really be one of our late night creatures mottos. I'm sure we have a lot, but I think it could be worse is definitely on that list. It's at the very least on the radar to be on that list. Okay, so now for bug tentacle arm here, we're gonna do. Actually, you know what? Before we go there, I'm gonna go in and shade him from both sides. He's gonna have this interesting duality, like kind of a backlight type deal to him, just because I need to have some symmetry with the shading, and this is how I do that. It's by doing what I'm doing right now. So it's basically going to look like an outline. It's not. It is lighting. But, whoops. It's fine. I messed up a line, but I'm not going to go back and fix it. Oh, it's 11:30. Well, rats. I guess we've run out of time. I really lost track of myself. Okay, well, thank you for joining me on Late Night Creatures. I'm sorry I didn't get to finish shading the armpit, but we run a tight shift, and that shift is tight. So, thank you. Sorry I ran over time. Got a little too caught up. Have a good night, and thanks for joining me on Late Night Creatures. I hope to see you next week. Bye.